What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to the channel. So today we have another Make 1K series, and what I love about the series is that we get a chance to meet successful entrepreneurs, business leaders, thought leaders in their space and learn their beginning journey, all the obstacles, all the hurdles they had to overcome to achieve the success that they had. Now, what I love about this particular interview series is that, not to pat myself on the back, but I was involved in the beginning of their entrepreneurial journey. I was able to offer some assistance, some guidance that just pushed them along. Now, I can't take credit for what the rest of what they've done, because that was their story, their hustle, their grit that allowed them to persevere and keep pushing forward. But it's just awesome to get to see, where they were and where they are now. So we're gonna find out who this couple is right now. All right, so the couple that you're getting ready to meet is Taalat and Ty from hisandhermoney.com. So the cool thing about this story is that it was several years ago, and I was able to help Ty and her twin sister when they had a brand called Double Saving Divas. And with this brand, they were able to get featured on some big time media, like daytime shows. They were legit. So after that, Ty teamed up with her husband Taalat, and they started His and Her Money. And with that, they have an amazing looking site. They also have an awesome YouTube channel and a huge community. And they are committed to helping couples achieve financial freedom. And the blessing is that them focusing on serving others, helping others achieve that level of success, they have also achieved success financially. So we're gonna find out their story, what they had to overcome, where they are now. So we're gonna find out more about Taalat and Ty right now.
What's up, everybody? I'm Taalat.
And I'm Ty, and we're from hisandhermoney.com, where we're showing you how to have better money,
become a better couple,
and live a better life.
So we know this is a big deal, because somebody showed us the way one day, and so we're super grateful that Jeff invited us on as a part of the Make 1K series, because the game has changed. I think a lot of us I know I was one that had the mindset of the only way to make money, or the best way to make money, was through a 9-to-5 traditional setting. You get 2 checks, first and the 15th. And with the advent of the internet, people are making money online. We've learned that through our own journey in our own life. And so we just want people to know, there are avenues out here. You don't have to put all of your eggs in one basket. There are some fantastic things you can do with your talents, your skills, and abilities by using the advent of the internet. And so this is good, a powerful series, and we're super glad to be a part.
All right, so we have a series of questions that we're going to start answering.
So about us, we started this journey about 5 years ago, and really the precipice of His and Her Money is a point of pain. Before we got married, just a few months before we got married, I had to confess that I was not being totally honest with my wife about the amount, or my soon-to-be wife, about the amount of debt that I had, and thus we would have together. And so I had to tell the truth, come clean. We almost didn't get married as a result of not the money part, but the trust part. And because I was not honest, was not being forthright, it caused some concern. Man, can he be trusted? And so we had to do a lot of praying, and we had to just really seek the Lord on what to do, and we ended up ultimately getting married.
Yeah, that's right. And the journey wasn't necessarily always easy, but we definitely had victory in the end. So much so that now we're using our life, our personal testimony, and we're putting it online, and we're just really sharing our lives and what it is that we do, and we're just helping people get out of debt, build wealth, leave a lasting legacy. We're also very big on family, very strong family and faith values as well, and just be a better person.
Yeah, so we get our message out via YouTube, via podcast, via written articles. We have courses, books, all kind of stuff. And so as my background is in education, I know that people learn in different ways. And so we try to take this message and put it into as many modalities as possible to make sure that those that need this information get this information.
That's right. Well, pretty much what we just mentioned. It was our personal story, and we noticed that we were counseling couples on our couch in our own home privately, or people were pulling us to the side saying, "Hey, Ty and Taalat, I've been watching you from afar. Can you show me the way, show us how to live this life, how to be just financially responsible?" And so we just said, hey, if we take this message online, we can help so many more people. And when we started 5 years ago, we weren't looking at the numbers. Like, we weren't, I think now social media and things like that, and I understand. I think people sometimes they look at the numbers, the influx of numbers, and maybe they think that the numbers equate to value. But for us, it was never about the numbers. It was never about how many subscribers we can get or how many followers we can get. It was always how many people can we help? Can we change their mindset in the area of money? We actually recall one time when we went live online on a platform called Periscope. And someone contemplated committing suicide that day, but because we chimed in and she saw a notification that said Ty and Taalat from His and Her Money is live, she realized that she was worth living for. She had things to actually live for and not die for. So that really catapulted us and showed us, hey, what we're doing here is not in vain, and we must keep it up.
Yeah, and I remember that moment, to this day. I mean, we were given a message, we were doing a teaching, and we stopped and we just started to pray for her. And she's still here, as a result. So you just never know. Like, you think you're going into this platform. We thought we were going into this platform with, a certain line, certain vision, a certain direction we were going, and you just never know. And I think that's why it's so powerful to put fear to the side, because we had fear when we were like, is anybody gonna listen to us? Like, who are we? We're not such and such, we're not such and such. And we put fear to the side and we said, you know what, there's a group of people who will only hear our voice. And so we have to do this.
And I would say I wasn't afraid. I think that was probably the difference of two people going in this together. Where one may be have a little fear, the other one may be just as confident. And so I think that we both balance each other out. But I wasn't afraid because it wasn't about what others had to say. It was about those whose lives we had to change.
So for me, I'm a researcher, and I love to find blueprints and see people that are doing it. But, before I even had the idea of bringing this platform to my wife and saying, hey, what do you think about this? I was listening to Pat Flynn, the Smart Passive Income podcast. And every week I was just listening to story after story of these entrepreneurs who took their talents and abilities and put it online and created this awesome business. And even Pat himself, when he was telling his story and he's showing his income reports, I'm like, hey, look at this. This is unbelievable. He makes more than a month than we make in a year. And so, I think things just really started with me personally listening to Pat Flynn, and he's a really transparent, really honest person, and to see that there is a way to do this with integrity, no scams, no scheming, but providing value, providing information, meeting a need, and you can turn that skill set into a viable business was just so awesome for me building up the foundation to do this work.
So I remember in the beginning, I would probably say our biggest obstacle starting out was neither one of us was really good with technology. And to be honest, I'm still not good with technology. I'm just not. And so I leave that up to him to figure out. But I would probably say that was definitely a learning curve for us.
And time. Time was a big obstacle. We were
That's true.
New parents.
Yep. No, we weren't new parents. Our son was probably about 4. Oh, you talked about our youngest when she was born. I got you. Yeah, so we had 3 children.
We had 3 children. I was working a full-time job, so 3 children under 4.
Yep.
Plus a full-time job, plus responsibilities at our church. And so this company was built at night and on the weekends, on lunch breaks. And so those were obstacles, but they were obstacles that we were willing to overcome because we believed in the work we were doing. And so obstacles are going to arise. You can't let them take you away. I think that's why it's so important that you identify why you're doing it, man. Don't just come into this game just with money only on your mind, because that's the quickest way to burn out. For us, it was service. And we knew that if we served well, if we brought value, that the money would come. And I think that the eye being on service was what kept us going, because we had a lot going on all at once.
And to be honest, obstacles will never go away.
Yeah.
You'll just have to divert them, or maybe you'll have new obstacles. Like, so we still have 3 children, right?
We still got 3 children.
So yeah, that didn't change, and we're still juggling schedules. And now our children are even more active in extra curricular activities and things like that. And we're even more active now in our church and in our community, and our business is continuing to grow. So I think obstacles will always be there. You just have to know how to handle them. Maybe it's hiring more people, getting a larger team, or maybe it's saying no to something during a season, or saying, hey, we don't need to be on all social media platforms, maybe 2 of them, right? So we've learned how to adjust depending on the season that we're in.
And we also knew that it was important to start.
There you go.
Some people make the mistake of, I need everything perfect, polished, and pretty before I hit the publish button. And you will never get started that way. One thing that we've learned is to go and improve along the way. So like our very first YouTube video is not
garbage,
nice looking, okay? But in that moment when we were recording it, that was our best.
That's right. And if we would have allowed ourselves to talk down to ourselves and say, hey, we don't look like that person over there, we would never have push start, like you said. And so don't wait for perfection. Don't wait for excellence and things like that. Just make sure that it's your perfection or your excellence. And so we always knew that, hey, and we're still changing things. I mean, we go through website changes. We've even changed the look of our logo. We've even changed our tagline. So things can be changed. Just start and get out there.
So for us, I think it was a mixture of things. I think for one, we had the AdSense going with YouTube.
On our YouTube,
Very early on, we also wrote a book and self-published. So I think probably a combination of those things led to our very first $1,000.
For us, I think because what made us a little bit unusual was that we pretty much started everything at the same time. Our YouTube video, our podcast, and our website. And so we were moving those needles all at the same time. And so we made our first $1,000. Oh my gosh. It had to have been maybe, I can't remember, maybe month 3? Maybe month 3, because by the time we had Google AdSense and things like that, it definitely was within the first 6 months, I would say, of the time that we started our business. So it didn't take us long per se, but we weren't really watching the money either. We were just putting out content.
Our focus was consistency.
There was.
If you are consistent with the work that you're doing, like you can't just pop in and pop out and then, be staring at your bank account thinking that deposits are going to come. I think we were able to grow our business to the place that it is right now, to where we both do it full time. Neither one of us work outside of the work that we do with His and Her Money now, as a result of us being consistent over time. Like, we have had our foot on pedal to the metal for 5 years straight. We never stopped. We never took a break. We just kept adding value to people's lives, and thus we were able to build a valuable business as a result. So we want to encourage you, like, you have to get in this thing, and you have to keep going, and you have to keep going, and you have to keep going. If you want to turn this idea of yours into an actual full-fledged business, consistency is going to be the key. On the passive income side, I think what really grew us in that area was when we created our first course. So we created a course around budgeting because people kept asking us for advice and content around that area. And instead of answering the same questions over and over again, we said, let's create a course. Let's make it systematic to where people can go from A to Z and become very good at this very foundational thing. And I mean, it was amazing. Well, it was a tough process because, when you're doing something, that's kind of second nature to you, and then you have to turn around and turn that into a curriculum to help someone who it's not second nature. Matter of fact, it's not part of their nature at all. And you have to take what you do kind of robotically and make it into a curriculum of sorts. That took some effort to dump our brains out and to put it in a systematic format and to say, hey, maybe we should talk about this too, or did we cover this? Maybe we need to cover that as well.
So what we did was we actually had a webinar, and we did that webinar, and we jumped off that webinar, and man, the feeling of getting those email notifications coming in, this person bought, this person bought. It was like, whoa, people really do believe in us. People really do want to support us and want us to show them the way. And so I remember, man, that first weekend, I think we sold it in, we had it open for 3 days, right? And we made, I want to say it was over $15,000.
Yeah.
It was over $15,000 that we made. And I believe that we sold it for, was it $97 or something like that? And so to go to bed at night and they'll wake up and you see all these transactions and you keep seeing transactions. Here's another one. Here's another one. That was really the first time we were like, whoa, that's passive income. We're not doing anything. We only did it once, and now it's just residual. So I remember that feeling, and it's amazing. So much so that I want everybody to feel that. And so that's why we're always trying to encourage people to start their own thing, whatever it is. You got a business inside of you. You're definitely an entrepreneur. There's a gift, there's a talent, there's something that God entrusted you with that you can bring to the world as well. So I would tell my beginner self when we first got started, again, if I had to, was to invest in education quicker. I would probably say I was a little bit more on the hesitant side. I remember when you wanted us to purchase a course, I think it was $300. It was a $300 course that was going to help us in the area of our business. And I'm like, that's a lot of money. And so I wish that possibly maybe I would have done it sooner, because I saw how that $300 turned into over $50,000 just by investing in one particular course that turned around and helped us make more money.
Yeah, I would tell my beginner self to, relax a little bit. I think for me, as I talked about earlier, consistency is the key, but you can also be doing too much all at the same time and end up feeling burnt out. And when you feel burnt out, you start to question the whole thing. Like, is anybody even listening? Is anybody even watching our videos? Anybody listening to our podcast? And I think that I just was just going too fast. And I also would tell myself, don't get bogged down in your mind about what others in your space are doing. It's okay to look at them and learn and model yourself, or
let them be
look
an
for ideas or be inspired by, but don't measure yourself like they're here and I'm not. And that sucks. You know what I mean? You have to know that, one, they started years before you did, and you're just getting started.
Or maybe they did.
And maybe they didn't, but that's okay. You're in your lane. Okay. You're doing what you're supposed to do, and that's okay. So I would tell myself, it's something that I've learned since then, but in the beginning, I wanted to, it was a competitive nature within me that's just like, man, I should be doing more. We should be doing more. And, that could lead you to getting totally off track. So I think it was John Acuff that says, never compare your beginning to someone else's middle. And I think that's such a powerful statement, and it's something that I would definitely nail down into my head as my beginner self.
I would just say, again, start. Don't allow perfection. Perfection is a destiny killer. If you allow perfection to get in the way, you won't get started at all. And so I would just say, get started. When we started with $500. That was it. We told ourselves we're going to put $500 of our own money into this business. If it flops, it flops on its own. If it succeeds, it succeeds on its own. And we weren't going to put another cent or another penny of our money into that. So we gave ourselves a $500 seed. And that $500 covered our website, and just probably some other little things in the beginning. And ever since then, our money has been making money and our business has been profitable.
I was watching a video the other day, and we even shared it on our social media. It was Damon John, the founder of FUBU, one of the sharks on Shark Tank. He was doing an interview, and he said the key to entrepreneurship is failure. I think that our fear of failure prevents a lot of people from even starting, when actually the key to entrepreneurship is going through those failures, because you can recover from those failures. His and Her Money is a very successful company, but it's not the first company or business or entrepreneurship endeavor that we attempted. It's probably about the 7th or 8th. And although those other ones didn't go the way that we planned, we took lessons from each situation, and we remembered that and kept it in mind as we were building this. And so, start, because you being afraid of failing isn't going to get you to where you want to be. You might as well just give it a shot. Even if it doesn't pan out the way that you intend, there are going to be a ton of lessons that you'll be able to glean, take away, and take into the new thing. And when you experience, something like that, a failure, it becomes a little thing, like, yeah, well, I got that out the way. Now I know what that feels like. Now I might as well try this thing too. And it just makes you stronger. So don't let fear, don't let the fear of failure or the fear of any kind stop you from doing this thing, because you can recover.
Yep.
A, it might work. B, even if it doesn't, you'll be able to walk away knowing what to do better next time. So again, we thank you guys for this opportunity.
Right.
We hope that we gave you something that will empower you.
And we hope to see you on this side.
We want you guys
we don't want to just be here
interviewed
by ourselves.
by Jeff,
That's
so we
right.
can hear how you were able to take this challenge and turn it into something powerful to inspire others.
That's right. Get started.